Lots to cover. And as you know, we go deep here, not superficial stuff. Well, this is why I wait a little bit sometimes to see how things shake out with Claudine Gay, to see the reaction of the media, of the phony civil rights movement, and of course the Democrat Party, the umbrella for all of it. And I just posted this on social media. Harvard's millionaire serial plagiarist and moral reprobate has become a media civil rights and Democrat Party hero overnight. Why? Not because she's a victim. In fact, she's a victimizer. But because she got to be president of Harvard by means of the American Marxist agenda. Notice these same Claudine Gay defenders are among the most vicious, hateful, and vile figures smearing Clarence Thomas or any conservative minority. Gay is not qualified to be on any college faculty, let alone a president of a college, because plagiarism is about stealing another person's intellectual property, knowingly lying about it, and deceiving the entire college. But Gay will now get even wealthier with book deals, speeches, and all the rest, playing the victim card and taking no responsibility for her contemptible behavior and her unconscionable responses, both before the House Education Committee and her inaction as Harvard's president, in the face of Jewish students receiving threats, attacks, and physical abuse. Depends on the context, you see, in which that occurs. This may be what the Democrats and their Marxist surrogates promote, but it is nothing more than a racist view of black people, and especially black women. That is, that they cannot compete and succeed without special privileges and worse, cheating and lying. Indeed, Gay stole the intellectual property of at least one other black woman scholar, Carol Swain, who's furious about Gay's thievery of her work. And of course, that is never mentioned. And the media and so-called civil rights leaders could give a damn. Why? Because Swain is not only a brilliant intellectual, she's conservative. Even more, the American Marxists own our colleges and universities. They want no oversight, no transparency, no real academic freedom and free speech on these campuses. The campuses are the Marxist indoctrination mills the Democrat Party relies on. The schools from which the so-called journalists graduate, and home to the mobs that have taken over our streets. Rigorous academic standards have been slashed. Admissions policies have become left-wing ideological tests based on the American Marxist agenda. Asians are discriminated against. Other preferred so-called classes of people are preferred. Dorms and graduation ceremonies are segregated. Conservative speakers are threatened and victimized, often have to run for their lives. Gay, with the backing from Barack Obama, who I bet had some input in her statement, was the perfect Harvard president. The perfect Harvard president for the hate America Marxist revolutionaries. And they will fight to the death to protect these schools from any kind of reform, improvement, and accountability. You understand? Now, I've done shows on radio and on TV on Joe Biden and his plagiarism at length. I'm not going to do it and bore you with it again. At length. If you really want to know what's going on, I encourage those of you who have bought The Democrat Party Hates America, it's playing out exactly as I predicted, and read chapter 3. Read chapter 3. The old civil rights movement is dead. The idea of equal opportunity and equal justice doesn't matter anymore. Because equal opportunity, equal justice under the law, well, from a constitutional legal perspective, it's been achieved. There is no systemic judicial inequality. Unless, of course, you believe the courts are corrupt and filled with racists. Unless, of course, you believe the Department of Justice is filled with racists. Unless, of course, you believe that all these DAs in minority communities in the cities are racists. Unless you believe all these juries in our cities and metropolitan areas are racist. But the Democrat Party is not about logic. They could care less about hypocrisy. It's about power. It's autocratic. So they'll circle the wagons around Gay because she serves their purpose. The Associated Press is the largest press operation in the world because of its wire service. It is a contemptible, unconscionable rat's nest of bigots, racists, and anti-Semites. It wrote a piece today and sent it out to thousands of its subscribers, its media subscribers, every media platform, basically, making the most horrendous arguments on behalf of Gay and against those who challenged her. Politico, which is really the bastard child of the Washington Post. This was a win for conservatives, don't you know? Well, you know what? I wear that proudly. I wear that proudly. We conservatives oppose anti-Semitism. We conservatives oppose plagiarism. We conservatives oppose the segregation of students based on their identity. We oppose CRT. We oppose DEI and all the other crap that's being imposed on our children and on our society. We conservatives want to conserve our Constitution. We believe in the Declaration and that each individual is valuable because of the individual. A God-given right to each individual. Free will. And we conservatives will stand up against this American Marxist revolution. So understand what's taking place, America. And they all dance on stage like the Rockettes. The Rockettes. Oh, leg up, this leg, that leg, ass back, ass foot. Yeah, they're the Rockettes. Except they're ugly. The media, the Democrat Party, the phony civil rights movement, which is really now a Marxist movement. That's what it is. Civil rights movement isn't about advancing the cause of black people. It's about advancing the cause of Marxism. Just like the rest of the Democrat Party. American Marxism. May have heard of that. The same people who are trying to destroy and have for decades Clarence Thomas promote this woman, Claudine Gay. Why? Because she is the quintessential result of their ideological advancement. And honestly, Barack Obama, in many ways you are too. That's why you have an affinity for her. That's why you lobbied on her behalf to defend her. That's why your invisible hand is behind much of what's taking place. I mean, you hadn't accomplished crap by the time you were a senator and then a president. But you're celebrated. Why? Did you do something great? No, you did a lot of things that were terrible. You weren't even a good president. You weren't even a good president for the black community. The hell did you do for the black community? Donald Trump did more for the black community than you ever did. It's the truth. So if you support people who steal not just words, but entire paragraphs from another person who wrote it, and then lie about it, and then get advanced as a result of it, become president of Harvard, as a consequence of it, then you're a perfect Democrat. And by the way, Al Sharpton, nobody needs a lecture from you, you a-hole. Nobody. About race or about anything else. You're a moron. But it is fitting that he is a sort of character witness for Ms. Gay, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's very fitting. These leftists, these Marxists, these Democrats, the media, think about what they're saying, as I pointed out in this post. Think about what they're saying to black people, to young black people, to young black women in particular. You should defend this kind of conduct. Because if an individual cheats and lies and steals the intellectual property of somebody else, because if an individual has hypocritically and unconscionably punished other people for doing exactly the same thing, said it depends on the context when you're harassing and victimizing and threatening and abusing Jewish students, it depends on the context. Understand that the entire Democrat Party apparatus supports it. Supports it. This is how you get ahead. This is how you get ahead in Joe Biden's America, and Barack Obama's America, and Al Sharpton's America, and I told you Jake Tapper's an a-hole, and Jake Tapper's America. This is how you get away with it. They are the racists. They are the racists. And what kind of message does former President Gay, who's a millionaire, she's not going to lose a penny. She's not going to be fired. She's not thrown to the streets. No, she's celebrated. What kind of message does she send to little black girls, or to all girls, or to all kids? It's all right to cheat. It's all right to scam. It's all right to be a fraud and a phony. It's all right to sit silently while your fellow human beings are being threatened. It's okay. That's the standard at Harvard College. That's the standard at CNN and Jake Tapper's journalism and the rest of the media. Joy Reid is the ideological and philosophical queen of this movement, with her bloodthirsty hate and racism and anti-Semitism. And she's given a platform by Comcast to spew it every single day. And of course, the lesson is for academia and everybody else, never ever fire somebody of Ms. Gay's ideological ilk, or you'll pay a price for it. Don't you dare challenge what's going on in our colleges and universities. We will not permit it. That's what's going on. Chapter 3, the Democrat Party hates America.